Thank you for coming out on a Saturday. I know the MTA is always never really going our way directly. So congratulations everybody for making it. My name is Monique Henry-Hudson. I am a graduate of the SVA Computer Art Department. I graduated in 2011. I'm a visual artist and illustrator. I write about animation on my website, SimplyRobotix. And most recently, I was working for the past 2.5 years at Blue Sky Studios as a story production assistant. And that's where I met Dre and Matt. And right now I am like figuring things out, and one way or another, I got an opportunity to create a Black in Animation panel for Blurred City Con in Brooklyn in July. And that led to the creation of Diverse Toons and having an opportunity to hear from people in the animation industry that you don't usually see, but who are definitely there contributing to a lot of our favorite cartoons and movies and things that we see and we consume often. I want to ask one more question before I open it up for the audience. Okay. So the importance of, or what makes this panel different from a whole bunch of other animation panels is the panelists, right? We look, we are, we convey ourselves differently from most of the people that we usually see. So by having you guys on here, I would like to ask, why is it important to have opportunities like this, to hear from voices like you all? Why is it important for people to come out to things like this, the significance for it?
I'll piggyback off that. Like, I think, so when dealing with diversity in animation, it's come kind of following up with what you mentioned. Like, first of all, the more diverse, like, your artist pool when you're making a project, or anything, music, whatever it is, it's like diversity is a beautiful thing that helps you, because you get a combination. It's like if you're cooking a meal and you've got access to all the spices. You know what I mean? Like back in the day, they used to send people to like different parts of the world because you couldn't get sugar over here. You had to go all the way over there to get that. And if you got a studio where you're making an animated movie and every single person in your artist pool is the same, it's gonna be bland as fuck. Excuse me, bland. I almost made it. It's gonna be bland. And I'm not just talking about like, I'm a black man. I'm not talking about you need black people. You need black people. You need people like Asian, Latino, white. You know what I mean? You need, because we all got different flavors. And I mean, it's just cultural things that you bring to the table, which is why you were like, don't change to try to fit somebody else's style. Be dope in your way, because when you're working on a project, one of the responsibilities of like supervisors and directors when they're casting, I can speak for animation because that's my field, but one of the things that they're responsible for is casting appropriately based on the artists that they have to work with. And you're gonna see as these, the industry gets more and more diverse, gender diversity is important too. Before, when I first started at Sony, we had like 60 animators. It'd be like 2 women, literally. And now at Blue Sky, there's like, it's like a way higher percentage of women animating. And that's a testament to like just how much more exposure people have to this stuff, and also this sense of like, yo, that's not necessarily a male thing to be an artist, you know what I mean, or that kind of artist, whatever. So point is that our films, our projects benefit from being able to have that diversity.
Jen, she's helping me out with the camera in the back, and we were both PAs in the story department. And in speaking about diversity with Spies in Disguise, the lead character played by Will Smith is Black. And Jen and I would have these conversations often where I would be like, a Black man actually wouldn't say something like that, and that's why it's important to have the animators and things to come in with the antics and the movements with the actual gestures more so true to character. And then also we have women characters in this movie, and it's an action movie. And Jen and I also were talking about, she probably wouldn't keep her heels on with running. Like she'd have to kick them off, or they'd break. They might have to convert or something. Right. Like But that's the importance of having more women in part of the animation department, more women in part of story and things like that, because those are nuances that get overlooked.
And then make it more authentic.
Yeah,
like, real.
Like that was important with the Black Panther when Lupita's character takes off her shoe. I'm like, yes, I would not keep.
Yo, that scene where she whips off that wig and when I was like, that was amazing. And then she goes, whoosh, and then she's like, that was
like no man had that idea.
Right.
That's not a man's. A woman was like, yo, make her do that, and it made it. That's a moment.
Watching my aunts though. Yeah. You know, when I watched Black Panther and she had the wig on, she was talking shit about the wig. I was like, yeah, my aunts be like, yeah, they'll take their wigs off when it's yeah, that's what they call snatching wigs. For me, it's definitely important diversity because if you notice anytime, you know, we might like here, this looks diverse right here. But then if you go into like writing rooms, you go into like the exec rooms, you go the people that actually have the power. It doesn't look like this, right? Let's be clear. True diversity to me is diversity of power. So a lot of times when people are talking about diversity, I think they're not really looking at the big picture. So I think for us, more people of color getting into this space is good, but also more people getting into like the director roles and the writing roles and the people that actually fund the films as well.
What would you say is the best way to like network and make those connections outside of school? Because I would love to be, you know, part of this art community, the animation community, but it's really hard to do from.
You know, well, you can't make connections just like just hoping and stuff. I tell my students, I give them crap about this all the time. Go to stuff. You have to go to industry events. Go to events like this. Go to Animation Nights New York, which is coming up. Go to the ASIFA East Animation Festival. Go to receptions. Bring some damn business cards and meet people.
Great. So yeah, I was just gonna say there's a lot of Facebook groups that I've been actively a part of. I've put out calls I had friends looking for animators for music videos or for web series and stuff like that. You utilize Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and people have meetups and stuff like that. There are things like this, connect with some people here afterwards. And there are so many animation related events and motion graphics and a whole bunch of stuff like that. I just came across like a women in VR group on Facebook, which is pretty interesting. So like you kind of have to do the grunt work in finding these things, but they exist. And then like everyone's been saying, like you can attend, you engage with people online. They're gonna start to, oh, I've seen this name before, and then they're gonna say, oh, well, here's the face for the username and things like that. And what you ultimately want, I say, is when an opportunity comes up, you want people to think of you. Everyone says all the time, it's who you know, and I strongly believe it's who knows you. So you need, when the opportunity comes up, they need to be like, oh yeah, Dre was at the panel, Matt was there, Jen, Jade, Sam. Like you want them to really think of you, and they can't think of you if they don't know you exist.